So this is Monday the 10th of January. I'm trying to get a writing routine sorted out, and I think I've finally got something in place that I can work with. I'm working on a new project, and I'm also going to be working on a couple of other short projects as well. I feel like just instead of working on one thing all the time, I need a bit of variety just to keep it a bit fresh, because otherwise I get bored easily. I know that about myself. I get bored easily, or I just burn out in the one thing and then I can't stand it. So I've got my planner here that I've started. This isn't actually my proper writing one. This is the sort of diary one that I have. I've kind of blocked it out like that just because I've been looking for a way to do it, put the colours in from my time blocking, and then when I saw, I think it was in the Heart Breathing's channel, she just outlined the set and I went, oh, that looks better, because I was doing, I was doing a long highlighting right along each line, and it didn't look neat to me is what I was trying to say, but this way I think you can see it looks a bit tidier. So that looks a bit tidier that way, which makes me a bit happier, to be honest. Some of the shorts I'm going to be working on will be under a pen name because they're horror, they're not the fantasy that I usually write. So in the meantime, I'm just going to get on with the rest of this afternoon. My sister phoned, which has all been working. She works from home as well because, with the pandemic and that. She only goes in once a week to her office to work. The rest of the time is at home. It was the other way about. It was only one day into the office and she worked, in at the office and only one day at home, but it's kind of switched over just now. Anyway, that's besides the point. She phoned me and that thought totally threw me off my schedule, and I thought, it's just my first day. Always in the first couple of weeks in January, when I first start, I've got everything set up, everything's good to go, and then something will happen in the first week that kind of knocks it off, pardon me, and then that has a sort of knock-on effect, and then the second week I have to adjust things again, which is kind of exactly the same thing that happened. But I think this time I've been a bit quicker this time in sorting out what is actually not gone wrong, just what I need to do to smooth it out a bit. So hopefully it's going to work and I can get on and just get a lot of writing done. I might as well take advantage of this time that I have a lot of time in my hands just now. So instead of just sitting and moping and stressing about not having a proper job just now, just use that time to be creative. Whether it's my writing or doing something else. But just keep myself occupied, which I'm very good at doing. I'm always sitting being busy at something while I'm watching the telly. I'm actually re-watching Xena just now. But I'm that familiar with it, I can pay attention to my writing, if that makes sense, and it's just background noise. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I shall add a bit more to this blog as I carry on writing. As I've said before, the actual writing part's not that exciting because all you're sitting doing is typing. It's not exciting to watch. So I'll try and think of maybe some other things I can put into this vlog to make it a bit more interesting, and I do have a whole month, so. So I've got my lunch, some nice cheese and crackers. I've just put a story up on Instagram, and I wanted to kind of elaborate on that a bit. I'd said I was having a bit of a hard time this month, and that's true. I think a lot of people at the beginning of this month. With my situation, because I was technically homeless, and I've been waiting to find out whether or not the council can give me somewhere, which they have, and I'm moving back to the town I was at before, so this is the next town over, it's the bigger town. And my sister and my mother are here, and I've spent quite a bit of time. I mean, my sister's been great, she's been helping me with things, and I've been talking to her, and it has been stressful, as you can imagine, when you don't know where you're going to be staying. And I've not got my things round about. I've got some because went back to the storage unit a couple of times, but it's still not the same as having everything around, all your belongings, even if my children seem to have chucked out half of it. I've rant for another day. But anyway, that's coming to an end in the next, hopefully, 2 to 3 weeks. I will be moving back to the town, closer to my children. I mean, my son lives in that town still, and my daughter's the next one. She moved away a little bit, because she also had to find somewhere to stay when the landlord decided to sell the house. So I move, hopefully, like I said, 2 to 3 weeks, move back there, and I'll be able to get everything out of storage, be able to properly look for a job now that I know where I'm going to be staying. And yeah, things are starting to look up. So another thing I was doing, I can't remember what I said in my last one. I said I was going to concentrate on traditional publishing. I've said that in the past before. And then I had the project all set out, and I was looking at agents and things like that. And I know they take a long time to respond. I know this because I've looked at it before. But for some reason this time I was looking at it and it says, it takes, I think the shortest turnaround time was 6 weeks. They said, it can take 2 to 4 months. And it's like, you know what? Nah, I can't be bothered with that. That's just far too long. I mean, seriously, why? So I've decided that I want to still pursue self-publishing and traditionally publishing. Do both. So the one I'm sending out to be hopefully get an agent. I mean, there's no guarantee. You might not like it at all. And then I've been thinking about projects that I can self-publish. And that has been something that, you try and work it out. So I've found the best way. I used to have a writer's journal. I wrote on it all the time and it was helpful, but for the past couple of years, for some reason, I just, put it to the side, and I don't know why, because I do journal other things. I don't know if I maybe just something just specifically for my writing I didn't want to do, whereas, when a journal is everything, but this is specifically for my writing. Now this is one of those Flame Tree Studio notebooks I've shown you. I've got a few, but of course they're in my storage unit. So I bought another one, and this is a nice Alice in Wonderland, like the classic artwork. And I got this, and it's really been, I haven't got much in it. I'm not going to show you anything because it's quite personal. But I was watching Helen Redfern. I've watched her video. I've been subscribed for a long time. And she does a lot with notebooks and things like that. And that's what made me consider, I should start that again, especially at this time when everything's so uncertain. Just to kind of help me focus. And it's certainly done that because I was writing in it, and I was just going through this thing, why do traditional publishers take so long, blah, 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 and I'm writing down my thoughts on that, and then I'm thinking, I should self-publish. And then it helps, because you're writing it onto paper, it helps to sort of unjumble your thoughts, focus what you're thinking and all that. So I found this really helpful, and that the writing in this helped me to come to the conclusion that I should actually still try for traditional publishing, but also do the self-publishing at the same time. You can have one project, put it to the traditional side and see how it goes, and then concentrate on the self-publishing side. So, in saying that, I've this also thing, well, what projects can I do? So I was doing some research, also watching the Courtney Project's book critique videos, and the research she was doing for that, to go into the top 100 on Amazon, see what all selling there, see what the covers were all like, and then she was giving other little bits of information as well, but she was mainly focusing on the covers, and that's something I've done before. So I was back doing that. I was over at my sister's because she's got the internet. I don't have internet here, and I was looking through all that, and I noticed that the paranormal romance was it's all quite, steamy. It's got steamy sex scenes and things like that in it, or very hot, they say. I thought, well, I'm not interested. I've done it before, but I get bored with it easily. And it's like, I'm trying to think of something I can do for long term. And that for me, no, I don't think so. But then somebody else said, I think, who was it? It was maybe the Six Figure Authors podcast, which I suggest, if you've not watched them, go and watch them because they've got a lot of information. They used to be the Fantasy and SFF podcast, or sci-fi fantasy podcast. It's with Lindsay Broker and Joe Lallo, and now with Andrea Pearson. It used to be somebody else. And even though it used to say fantasy and sci-fi, it was for all indie authors. Basically what they were saying, you could apply to all genres, and it's still the same now. Even though they're mostly fantasy writers, you can apply the tips and tricks they're giving you to any genre. So I was watching it, and they were saying something like, for every genre that has all the hot and spicy stories, there are just as many people who are looking for sort of clean romance stories in the same genre. And you're like, well, that's quite interesting. So of course that was something else to think about, and I thought, no, just narrow down what genre, the genre and then subgenre. Just narrow it all down to whatever niche you would like to write in, and for long term, not just short term, for long term. And then you can think about all the other stuff. So I've been thinking about that, a lot of thinking. This is what always happens in January, I think. I mean, I started off quite well. I wrote quite a bit. Well, for me, quite a bit. It's maybe just, I never got round to doing my 10k day, but what date are we? We're the 24th. So I've got 7 days. I've got another week to manage to get one in, and I think I will, because I've got a pen name that I want to start up for horror, and I've got a story in mind for that that's percolated for quite a while. So I'm going to do that, and I am going to figure some other things out, but I'm feeling quite excited. I think it's more a case of I'm feeling excited about it all now because everything's moving forward. I'm getting a place to stay that'll be sort of my forever home. I'm getting all my things back out of storage. I'll then be able to look for a job. I mean, I would love to say, I could just use my writing to support me. I can't do that just yet. Sometime in the future that'll hopefully happen, but at the moment I need to get a job, and I've applied for a full-time one, which would be perfect, but we'll see. So that's what's happening just now. I am finally feel like I'm moving forward. Everything's sort of, I'm still sorting through things with my writing and other life stuff, but it's finally all sort of settling down. At the moment, I feel like I'm now starting to move forward finally. I'm getting my permanent home in a town I like as well. I've been thinking in a more focused way about my writing. Not that I didn't before, but I don't know what it is, but I think because I'd been taken out of my familiar comfort zone when I moved out of the country, and then I've come back to not having what I had before. I don't have a home, I don't have a job, and now I'm getting a different home and hopefully a job soon after. So everything's new, and everything is sort of coming together, and I'm more focused on what exactly I want to write. Not just thinking, oh, what's popular that I could write, but being honest with myself and thinking, well, would I enjoy it? It's still about enjoying the writing for me. So that is me for just now. I don't know if I'll add any more to this little vlog or just upload that. I'll maybe upload it, and then the next one will hopefully be in my new home. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It always helps little channels like mine to grow. And I will speak to you guys possibly in my new home. Okay, bye.